What's happening, guys? Welcome to my vlog. I am currently 4 weeks out from the BNBF Midlands Qualifier for 2017, and to be honest, things are going great. This week has been pretty much perfect. Everything seems to be going to plan. Training's going well, the cardio sessions are going well, and it all seems to be down to my slight change in diet. For those of you who have been following my previous vlogs will know that I used to be on a high fat, high protein and I'd say moderate to low carbs in comparison to what I actually need. And whereas this week I've actually changed it and I've lowered the fats and increased the carbs, and I'll tell you why. Well, over the past couple of weeks, my energy levels have been pretty low, really low in fact, and I've been struggling. I've been dragging myself through the training sessions. I've been getting everything done, but it's been a real struggle. I've literally been dragging myself through life. It's been hard. I've not wanted to do anything. I just want to sit at home and just relax and lie down. And I didn't feel like this was the best way to approach this competition. I feel like I should be more energetic. I know that you're going to have them days where things really do take the toll, but to feel like that pretty much all the way through the week, it's not a very good it's not a good feeling to have really. So I found that the increase in carbs has just changed the game completely. Even though I was looking well on my previous diet, I was quite flat pretty much all the way through it until I have a refeed. This time I am still flattening out as the low carb days go by, and then I will have a refeed each week or as and when needed really. But the energy levels have been a huge improvement. I've been able to do my cardio and my training without any real forcefulness. It's just flown nicely. I've been having some great sessions. I've still kept my strength, which is surprising really, seeing as in the previous preps my strength has kind of dwindled away, especially in the push movements. My bench press, my shoulder press, they usually go way down, miserable, and it's quite depressing when it happens. You just kind of see your strength dip week after week, and I used to think that was normal, but it really isn't, and it shouldn't be happening, as it is a sign of that you're actually burning muscle. So as you can see, still got a bit of muscle. Still got some there, and the strength is doing well. I'm not actually pushing for any PBs. I'm not pushing to break any records. I'm still pushing my workouts, but I'm not going to that complete failure. I'm trying to kind of play it a little bit safe, although I'm trying to maximise my workouts still. I'm still leaving that little margin, so I'm not really increasing the chances of any injuries, because they usually come when you're squeezing out them last reps and really forcing your body to push that weight, and the main focus is just to make it onto that stage and be healthy and injury free. I've actually found that the cardio at this prep is at an all-time high really. I usually don't do so much, but then again I've not been in this condition either, so the added cardio has definitely alongside the change in diet to what I usually do, has definitely improved my conditioning by a huge amount, as I'm looking back at pictures and from what I remember on how my conditioning is after 14 weeks of dieting. I'm probably in better condition than what I was after 20 odd weeks of dieting. So I did have a better starting point, but my approach this time has been far superior. Things have flown a lot better, and it's been a lot more enjoyable. This prep, I've been cycling everywhere, to and from the gym. So because I don't live that far from the gym, in between clients, I usually come back home. So sometimes I'm cycling like back and forth 4 or 5 times a day. And even though it's only like a mile away, it all adds up, and it certainly does tire you out, especially after like a leg session, or you've done clients back to back, and then you've got to train, and then you've got to cycle back home. It does take its toll. So my current weight at the moment, on the Sunday, the official weighing day, I was actually up 1 kg, so gone from 93 kg up to 94 kg, but I was a lot leaner. So I don't really watch the scales to that, I just use it as a guideline, as you may know already. So I wasn't too concerned, because when I look in the mirror I see that I've actually made some improvements in terms of conditioning. So you know, there's many factors which can contribute to adding weight, and it was post refeed as well, so that was probably a contributing factor. So I'm not too concerned in regards to weight. I'm looking in very good condition at the moment, to my own standards anyway. You will be seeing how I look, because I've actually got a posing video which I will be sharing on the same vlog at some point. And I've also got a training video, because I know people are interested in how I actually train, so that will also be featured on this vlog. Okay, and so we go to the questions. The first question is, how do I develop my back? And the part B to that question is, do I do a lot of deadlifts? Well, the answer is, I don't really deadlift that often. I do go through my phases where I will deadlift for, say, maybe 6 weeks in a row, but then I'll be off for months. I won't really bother. At this prep, I've not really done any deadlifts to that, like especially later on in the prep. I can't really remember the last time I've actually done any deadlifts. I did some sumos the other day. I've started doing them recently, over the last few weeks, but apart from that, I don't really do them. For me, they've not been key to my back development. I am very strong at them, but I don't think it's necessary to just be banging out deadlifts. But obviously everyone's got their own opinions, and a lot of people use the deadlift as a like staple of their back workout, and will do them week after week and actually have good back development. But for me, I just break down the back into each section and hammer away at that muscle group. So I do a load of rows, all different variations. Sorry, whether it's bent over rows, with seated rows, dumbbell rows. Any type of row there is, I'll do it. And I don't just do like one movement or two types of rows. Sometimes I do 3 or 4. Really push that muscle, and that's what I found works for me. So I just break down the back muscles and do an exercise to really, or do a number of exercises, sorry, to really help push that muscle and help it develop. Also, on top of that, I train my traps with my back. I have done for a long time. I see people doing them with the shoulders, which ain't a bad thing. You can do if you want, but in terms of like the movements which I do on back day, I find that the traps actually come into play. So I like to do a couple of movements for them as well. So some narrow grip upright rows and some shrugs, of course, whether it be on the Smith machine or on the barbell. Second question is a funny one. Do I get pissed off when people don't believe that I am a natural bodybuilder? No. I'm not going to spend all my time and put a load of effort into trying to convince everyone, just the same way I don't try and keep everyone happy, because it's an impossible task. So the main thing is, I know what I am. I've been drug tested for the past 3 years straight. I've been polygraphed for the past 3 years straight. If you don't know what a polygraph is, it's a lie detector test. It's not a nice thing, even when you've not done anything wrong. So it's not a nice process to go through. But each time I've come out, I'm clean, drug free. I don't take any banned substances. Luckily, competing in the BNBF, we've got a forum, as part of the DFAC as well, where you can actually submit your supplements which you're thinking about taking, with a list of the ingredients, and then Davey, he'll look over them and give you the okay to see if they actually contain any banned substances. So luckily we've got that. But no, I don't get pissed off. I just I actually find it I won't say a compliment, but I just think, oh well, people must think that I'm big then, so think that I'm juiced up. It's not a bad thing. I don't look down on people that do take steroids or any type of performance enhancing drugs. Each to their own. If that's what you want to do, if that's your route to bodybuilding, then fair enough. Just be careful, use things in moderation, and that goes for everything in general anyway. And just don't be what's the word, oh my god, basically just don't be reckless. That's it, don't be reckless. I know a few people who do some crazy stuff and there's no need for it. Also, usually people that think that I'm on steroids or I've taken them in the past, it's due to their lack of knowledge about natural bodybuilding. Because if you used to go to a high class bodybuilding show, natural bodybuilding show, you'd actually see how high the level of competition is, even from the teens, in terms of conditioning. There's some shredded guys there, and the top pros, the muscularity is crazy. To see it in person as well, it is very, very breathtaking. So I remember first seeing David K, I was like, what the hell, what's one of them? You know what I mean? It's crazy. I couldn't believe it. The guy was shredded head to toe, just next level. And it's when you know about natural bodybuilding, you just know how far the body can actually go. And I believe that people usually turn to steroids because they don't believe that they can reach a certain level without having to take some type of performance enhancing drug. Okay, question number 3. How can you improve your body from show to show? Well, what people usually do is, after a show, they look at themselves and just think, right, I need to be bigger, I need to be more conditioned. But don't we all? What you need to do is actually break down your body and look at the body parts that need to be improved, because bodybuilding is all about balance. So if you're top heavy and you need to bring up your legs, then maybe it's not even the whole of the leg. You might have good hamstrings, so you might need to focus on your quads and calves. So now you've identified what needs to be improved, the next step is to figure out a way of how to actually improve it. Now, if you've been training a long time and been doing the same things over and over, and it's not really helped to develop that muscle, then you need to start thinking about a new way of training, a new approach onto how to actually improve that muscle. So a lot of us, we get stuck in our ways and just keep doing the same things over and over, but it's all about adapting and actually recognising when things are working and when things actually need changing. So that's the training side of it. The next thing is nutrition. this is a big one going from show to show, because it seems as soon as it turns to off season, that's it, everyone starts binging, starts drinking loads, eating loads, and just using it as an excuse just to just overconsume food, really. So overindulge even, and it's not necessary. If you're thinking about being a long-term competitor and want to do well, then your thought process, it should be about bodybuilding in terms of how you eat and how the food's actually going to affect your training and affect your physique. So if you've got in the back of your mind that you're going to do another competition next year, I'm not saying you can't enjoy some treats and socialise and go partying, you know. I do anyway. I like to go and enjoy people's birthdays and celebrate occasions, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you just need to make sure that you're staying on top of some type of diet, whether it's kind of like a flexible approach or you can keep it super strict. It's up to you on how you do that, but the main thing is that you're still tailoring your foods to improve your physique, basically. Otherwise, when you step on stage the next time, there's going to be little to no improvements made, and you'll be in the same boat again. Okay, on to the final question. How important are genetics? Well, this is actually a good question, because a lot of people seem to cap themselves because they believe that they're at their genetic potential, like the maximum genetic potential, which most of the time probably isn't true. For me, I believe genetics are very important. They do make up who you are, but no one really knows on what your limits are, not even yourself really. So for me, I would say keep pushing and keep believing that you can improve, even if you are at a very good standard. You know, keep forcing that body to be bigger, but if that's what you want to be, or keep developing, and I believe that you will develop as long as you keep adapting your training and adapting your nutrition as and when it needs to be. As long as your training is effective, then things will continue to grow. So even if you've got lagging body parts, things that don't seem to have grown, a lot of the time it's usually because you've not given that body part enough attention, or maybe you've actually overtrained that body part. So it's about finding the balance and finding what actually works. So in terms of genetics, yeah, they play a huge role, but no one really knows what your limits are. So just keep training and keep pushing and keep putting in that time to help your body grow. And if you believe it will grow, 9 times out of 10 you'll find a way to make it grow and develop. Okay, so that's it for this vlog. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, follow all my social channels. They'll be somewhere and definitely in the description. But that's not all, because as promised, I've got some training footage for you guys. It features my friend Sean. We're at Lifestyle Fitness and we're training back. It was a very good back session, really pushed it, and you see how it goes down when you train with me. Stay tuned.
It's JP Sounds.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.